Hello everyone, welcome to News Extra, and today we're talking about home arts, specifically for the Scottsbluff County Fair, coming up from July 29th into the first part of August. And I have Marjorie Stauffer with me, and she's kind of overseeing the entries for home arts this year.
Well, I am the superintendent of home arts, but that has a bigger name than what I actually do.
Okay.
I do the paperwork, and I make sure that all the shelving's in place, to display the things. And then I have this wonderful bunch of ladies that take care of each one of their departments, and take care of making sure that they get written on the pieces of paper like they're supposed to, and the premiums get figured like they're supposed to, and so they do a lot more than I probably do, but I kind of just help them with whatever they need. So,
and a lot of people may think that you have to have your home arts, your exhibits in early, but that's actually not necessarily the case. I mean, as far as physically there on the fairgrounds, it's pretty right when things start up, right?
Yes, it is. We enter on Monday, the 29th, and we enter from 8 to 4, and they bring their items. Then they will fill out a little entry tag, and then they will go over and get a class number from one group of ladies, and then they will go over and get an exhibitor number from the other group of ladies, which will list all of their things that they're bringing so that we have a complete list, and then leave their things there with us until the 4th, and that's about it.
And go from there. Now, when it comes to registering, people can actually pre-register early.
Yes, they can.
And say, hey, I'm bringing something out.
Yes, they can. This is our first year for our online, and we're really excited about it. You can find us at the extension office has a big long web address.
Of course.
Of course. And the easiest way that I find us is to just Google Scottsbluff County Fair Open Class Fair Book 2019, and it pops right up.
Oh, perfect.
And there, right before the fair book it says you can enter online here, and then you do need to look at the fair book because you need to find what class number you're bringing. For instance, if you're bringing a quilt, which would be in the 100 range, you need to know whether it's a 101, 102, or whatever. And then you enter your name, address, telephone number, age if you're under 20, the class number, what you're bringing, a description of it, and make it a fairly complete description when you put it on there. And then when you come to the fair, we're hoping to simplify things by having you just fill out your little entry tags, and that's it. You don't have to make the other 2 stops to get a class number or to get an exhibitor number. I will give you those on the computer.
Perfect. And kind of streamlines the process, I should say, making it a little bit easier for entrants to put in their information ahead of time. And of course, there have been a few changes to home arts over the years, as well as the number of classes is considerable out there at the Scottsbluff County Fair. We'll be right back on News Extra to talk about that. We're back on News Extra. We're talking about the home arts exhibits at the Scottsbluff County Fair for 2019. And I have Marjorie Stauffer, the supervisor for home arts, supervising a lot of folks, giving her a good hand with all kinds of different categories. And there are a number of categories, wide variety of things.
There are. A lot of people don't realize that. We have quilts, we have textile arts, we have knitting, we have crocheting, we have handicrafts and woodworking, decorative and dimensional arts, baked goods, canned goods, and photography.
Quite the variety of things.
Yes, it is. So now, about anything that anybody has any talents for at all. and we're in the west end of the building, the main building, along with the horticulture and the 4-H there, and so you can find us there, of course.
Yeah, and if anybody has ever walked through those before, going and seeing all of those exhibits are really neat. Because there are just a wide variety of not only people from inside the county, but also 4-H.
That's right.
There are kids that have their items on exhibit as well.
And 4-Hers can bring their things to the open class too. A lot of times you bake a bunch of cookies and you have 3 cookies for the 4-H, and then you bring 3 or 4 cookies over for us. You have to look in our fair book what it is. But the amazing thing they have to remember is that there's 2 different judges with 2 different opinions, and sometimes they don't get the same ribbon.
Yeah, that does happen. That does happen. Now, you've been overseeing this for about 11 years.
That's right.
As I understand it.
That's right.
Have things changed a little bit in maybe some of the categories here and there?
A few things have changed. We are limiting our photography this year to 5 instead of 10, so they have to make a good selection of their photos when they bring them in. Be sure to have them matted. We are running short of space to display them. Is why we're doing this. We don't want to discourage people from bringing things, but just not so many of them. You know, we don't need 20 people bringing 10 things and have 200. We need maybe 300 people bringing 5 things and have 150.
Yeah, 150 that way, or whatever the number may actually end up being.
More people, yes.
Sure.
We usually end up with over 300 photographs.
Yeah.
Which is a lot to display. So.
Yeah, and of course things have changed a little bit when it comes to photography with digital photography.
Digital photography. Yes.
It's very simple for people to, snap away and find that one specific one, but they have to be a little more discerning this year.
Yes.
Basically a little bit. So of course, if you are going to take something to the Home Arts for exhibit to see how you fare with everybody else in the county, there are some requirements, and of course one of them does help is the pre-registration online.
That's right. That's right. We hope that a few people do that. I've gotten 6 so far, and in our pilot year, I feel like that's really good because we haven't had any advertising out about it. So they've had to have discovered it on their own, which I'm glad they did.
And if you need that link, the best way to find it, aside from a really long internet address, the best way to find it is to Google it by searching Scottsbluff County Open Class Fair Book 2019, and it should
just pop right
come right up for you. And of course, for people that haven't registered online, of course, the 29th is the big day of bringing in your exhibits.
That's right. Everybody has to bring in their exhibits on the 29th, even the people that register online. It just saves them some time. So.
And of course, that's going on from 8 in the morning until 4 o'clock in the afternoon on Monday the 29th. Judging is the following day.
It's the following day, that's right.
And then the exhibits are open to the public to see who got what ribbons and see what all of those things by 5 o'clock.
By 5 o'clock. A lot of times it's a little earlier than that because it depends on when the judges finish.
Sure.
And when we can get our displays up, that we can open it back up. So.
And of course, after they've been judged and the fair is over, it's time to pick things up.
Pick things up, yes. And you come back on Sunday. Now, this is a change for us, too, because we've always released our things in the afternoon on Sundays. We're doing it from 10 to 1 in the morning this time. And so hopefully it'll be a little cooler, and hopefully we can catch a few more of the 4-H'ers as they're up there and they don't have to make a second trip.
Sure.
Anyway, we're kind of excited about that. And if you can't come up and pick it up, you need to arrange for somebody to pick it up. And if you don't make it at all, you will have to forfeit your premiums. But we do give out the premiums at the time you pick your things up, too. So.
Yeah. So that's the 2019 Home Arts exhibits at the Scottsbluff County Fair coming up very shortly. Pre-register if you can, and if not, you still have to bring in your items coming up on Monday the 29th.
Yes. And I'm only going to have the online pre-registration through Friday because I need to do the paperwork to have to my people by Monday. So I can't wait through Saturday and Sunday, so they'll have to get it in which is a short amount of days, but there will be time. So yes.
There is time to get her done.
Yes, there
Marjorie, thank you very much for joining us on News Extra today.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate that.